Hello, this is Waning Crescent, and this is Project DOT. The game will be a 3D first-person dungeon crawler where you build up a deck of automatically played cards to help explore cyberspace, where you must steal data. Each run, you are given a floor that has a large cache of confidential data on it, as well as a number indicating the proximity to help the player track it down. Once obtained, your goal is to get out whilst not being corrupted by the dangerous viruses. The game's visuals will be abstract and simplistic due to my lack of experience and skill in art. Before starting a run, the player builds a deck out of the cards that they own. These cards can have effects like blocking firewall and virus, or maybe increasing speed or dropping more data into the dungeon. These cards will be played from your deck randomly every 30 seconds, but every 2 minutes a negative card will be added to the pool of cards that can be pulled from your deck. In relation to the abilities of the player, they have access to running, jumping, crouching and sliding to help them traverse through cyberspace. They also have 3 health points. Because of this low amount, it is paramount that you avoid getting corrupted by the glitches. Throughout cyberspace, glitches roam, and once they see you, they will try and hunt you down and corrupt you. In traversing the map, the player may encounter virus gates. When passed through, they will give the player a random amount of virus. This can also be generated by strong cards, which also may have the negative effect of generating virus. The more virus you have, the more traps will appear in cyberspace, as well as more glitches or maybe stronger glitches. It can also generate more virus or firewall. Another negative effect that can impact cyberspace, but instead of being tied to the player, is instead tied to the time the player spends within cyberspace. Each time firewall is generated, it will randomly close paths throughout cyberspace, making traversal more difficult the longer you spend in there. When exploring cyberspace, data can be found. Bits and bytes can be found, with 8 bits equaling a byte. Passwords can also be found, which let you delve deeper into cyberspace. Data can be generated across the map via various effects of cards. If you're successful in your run, you can convert your bits into bytes and then spend them on temporary cards, which can help you in future runs. However, not all data is equal in value. Confidential data can be used to buy permanent cards that you can use in future runs. To acquire confidential data, at the start of your run, you will have a number at the bottom of the screen letting you know how close you are to the cache of confidential data. If it does not show a number, then it is deeper in cyberspace. Once obtained, it is the player's goal to get out of cyberspace without being corrupted, so that they can use the cache that they have obtained and spend their confidential data on upgrading their deck. With the concept explained, it's time for me to show you what I've gotten done in the past 3 weeks. But before that, a massive shout outs to Tango Tek of the Hermitcraft server. This idea is heavily inspired by his minigame, or rather game, Decked Out 2. Link in the description. So far, when you hit play, it will open up the deck builder, where you can add and remove cards. As you can see, it functions quite well. Yeah, it functions. Give me a second. And as you can see, it like I said, functional, and definitely not a buggy mess. In starting the game, your deck is shuffled, and a random card will be played soon after starting. Cards will then be played every 30 seconds. This is the first version of the virus gate. When passed through, it will become inactive, and will stay inactive for 30 seconds, allowing players to double back without being punished. Upon starting the game, you may notice the number at the bottom of the screen. That shows how close you are to the data cache that you are looking for, and will disappear once obtained. Upon gaining line of sight, the enemy will follow the player. When it gets close, it will attack, as shown in the top left. The enemy will stop following you once you get out of its range, and will start following you once you re-enter that range, but only if it sees you. After acquiring the cache of confidential data, the player is able to leave the level by moving close to this object. You then reach the shop, where you can buy new cards. And that's everything for Project DOT, at least at the moment. Although, there is one more thing I'd like to show you. In widget blueprints, which are the UI elements in Unreal Engine, the engine I'm using to make this game, you can't use event begin player in widgets. However, you can use event tick. So, if it's stupid but it works, it's not stupid. Waning Crescent, signing off.